out of here. But which way? I don't know. What am I looking for? Something I can't see. I can feel it. It's magic. Savage. Dior. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Peter here. Today's video is just an overview of the new Dior Sauvage, the Eau de Parfum. I might as well compare it to the EDT, which I have a 5ml decant here. And yeah, I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Dior Sauvage, just not in a snobby way, despite what some people think. It's just generally, the notes don't attract me. I'm not a fan of citrus and spice together as a combination. In general, doesn't matter what it is, if it's niche, whatever. Citrus and spice is not something that I particularly like in general. Also not a fan of unboxing. So obviously, you know, this one isn't a huge wow fragrance to me. It is a pretty simple fragrance actually. One thing that surprises me is the popularity of it in terms of its such simplicity. But maybe it's the simplicity that makes it good for a lot of people. You know, you get a blast of rejuvenating citrus and spices with basically ambers and woods. Very simple, very masculine, kind of timeless combinations really. And I think what sets this apart and why this does as well as it does is its performance, but we'll get into that later. But anyway, the Eau de Parfum. So my first impressions of this one, and I did wear it properly on my hand and on my skin, was that yes, it smells like the original, but the differences in the opening. This, to me, for the way I smell it, and it's funny because I've seen such different opinions on this. I get less of the citrus and less of the pepper. The mid of the fragrance smells very fresh and clean and almost kind of vibes of a masculine kind of shower gel. I can imagine, you know, kind of a body wash smelling like this. What I feel this fragrance does is it kind of skips the majority of the top notes and kind of goes straight into the heart of the original EDT. That's how it comes across to me. And really, I don't get what people say when they say it smells richer or deeper. I don't get that. To me, it's not a more complex version. It literally is the heart of the EDT, and that's really kind of what it gives you. It goes straight to the heart and skips the top. That, in my opinion. And when I directly compare this to the EDT, which I have here, I notice. See, this one I get more of the fresh citrus, I get more pepper, and I get more wood. This one definitely has a peppery, citrusy, woody kind of opening, and then just mellows out into that ambroxan base. The EDP feels a lot less exhilarating in the opening. It loses that excitement of the fresh kind of peppery, woody blast that makes it a little bit more interesting. Skips over that and goes straight to the more of the base, kind of the heart of the fragrance. That's it in a nutshell. It's really not a complicated fragrance. If you like unboxing, you'll love it. If you like, you know, mass appealing fragrances that are going to please most people, then it's extremely versatile. It's going to work all year round, any occasion, it doesn't matter. One thing that did impress me with the fragrance was the performance. I got a compliment on this fragrance 5 hours after spraying just samples on my back of my hands. I went to a bar to play open mic night music, and I'm not kidding, I got a compliment from the other side of the bar, which was about 2.5 meters away, 5 hours after spraying it on my hand when I thought it really wasn't projecting. Someone smelt it from across the room. So the performance is definitely there, and that's why it's in most complimented videos, because people can smell it around you. You're not going to get compliments on a fragrance if people can't smell it. That's what the biggest positive for this fragrance is. The sillage and the projection on this is loud. Hours and hours into the fragrance, you're going to be leaving trails 5-6 hours later. That is why people will come up to you and say, oh, you smell nice. It's because they can actually smell it. I don't think the fragrance is that amazing, to be honest. I think it's purely, generally it smells pleasant and people can smell it because it performs. That is the biggest selling point for this fragrance in my opinion. So in terms of performance, the EDP only lasted a little bit longer, maybe 45 minutes, so maybe an hour, a little bit longer than the original EDT. I was getting around 8 hours from the EDT, around 9 hours with the EDP. Projection maybe a touch softer on the EDP. It feels a little bit closer to the skin, but it's still, just as you know, it still waves around. It's just a little bit not quite as lively as the EDT. My overall opinion, personally, is if you like this kind of smell, stick to the EDT is my kind of general opinion, because it performs really well, it floats around, it's going to get you compliments, you know, if that's what you're into. Most people in the world are going to find it appealing. That's what the job of a designer fragrance is. A designer fragrance is made to be mass appealing for people to want to buy it, to sell in large numbers to a lot of people. That's specifically what it is created for. So obviously most people in the world are going to enjoy it. I will say that I did buy the sample from eBay. I'm presuming it's legit. I don't see why anyone would want to copy or forge a sample, because there wouldn't be any profit in it. So I'm presuming it's, you know, taken from a department store and sold on. So I'm presuming my sample is fine. Really, once it dried down, there is almost no difference. You really struggle to tell the difference between which is which. If someone was walking in the street wearing the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette, you would not have a clue which one was which, in my opinion. The very, very subtle differences. There's really nothing to write home about in terms of differences, apart from the initial opening being a bit different. It's not something that excites me when I smell it personally, and when I remember my very first impression when it first came out was that it was kind of screechy, and someone actually compared it to the smell of pennies, like copper coins, because it has this kind of sharp metallic twist to it, and I do get that. It's something about it that's just a little bit metallic and sharp, which isn't particularly pleasing for me. But in the air it smells better. The CR smells better than when you smell it close analysing it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you tried the new Eau de Parfum, leave it in the description what you find the difference between the EDT and the EDP. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think it has more spice? Do you think it's exactly the same? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let other people read it. That'll be a good way for people to judge. I guess people interpret things differently, obviously. Scent is very subjective. For me, that's what it kind of gave to me. But leave your thoughts below, and if you like it more than the original, use it as a discussion below. I don't mind, and I'll see you guys next time with another one. Take care. Bye bye.